Okie dokie. Welcome to Dave's Cooking Show, and for you today we have a garlic crust French bread pizza. First thing we got to do is make up the marinara for our pizza. So in the blender, as you can see, I have a 28-ounce can of San Marzano tomatoes that we're going to blend up. Then I'm going to be adding some spices to this, like 2 teaspoons of dried oregano and 2 teaspoons of basil. And then 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. And then you want to add, of course, salt and pepper. Again, a little more liberal with the pepper than the salt, because remember, canned tomatoes are quite salty. And then you want about 6 cloves of minced garlic. And despite what the jackass in a corn costume tells you, if it's in oil, it's just fine. Then you're going to add about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Again, you can't really see it, but 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Then put the lid on top, fire the blender up, and you want to blend this till everything is pureed together. All right, let's move on to the next step. Alrighty, as you can see here, I got about a pound of Italian sausage that's nearly done cooking. Yes, I'm going to put the meat in the pizza sauce because I'm a fucking lunatic. And there we go. That's pretty much all the sauce in the blender. And give it a little stir. And let it start getting incorporated, but we're not done quite yet. Okay, now you want to add 2 tablespoons of butter to the sauce. And by the way, if you want to up your sauce game, this is the way to go. Couple of tablespoons of butter, because much like bacon, butter makes everything better. And then you want to eyeball, once again, a little bit of that basil, a little bit of that oregano, a little bit of that Italian seasoning, about a teaspoon each. Remember, we've introduced new ingredients. So, again, and you want to keep tasting this throughout its cook time. Just a little taste. And like I said, and this sauce turned out phenomenal. Obviously, it doesn't have to be a pizza sauce. Can be on top of your spaghetti, and I guarantee you, you're getting laid that night. So give this a stir. Oh, and also add a little bit more salt and a little bit more freshly ground cracked black pepper. Again, a little more conservative with the salt because, again, the tomatoes are already salty. All right. Okay, basically you can see the butter's melted, everything's incorporated, and then you just kind of want to cook this on a low heat, medium low to low, maybe a gentle simmer for about 20 minutes or until you feel the sauce is done. So yeah, like I said, about 20 minutes and it should be done. And remember, keep tasting it throughout the cooking process. It's the only way you're going to know how the final product's going to be. Okie dokie. Here are my French bread loaves from the bakery. Got them all nice cut in half. Again, I preheated the oven to, about 450. Because remember, you want to pre-toast these. Otherwise, your French bread pizza is going to suck because the sauce is going to get soaked right up. And in the microwave, I melted 4 tablespoons of butter and a teaspoon of garlic powder with that. So just kind of want to brush the butter on as best you can. Don't worry, it doesn't gotta, cover all of it. It's fine. Okay, and as you can see, there was more than enough butter for all 4 of these. And then you want to pop this in, again, a 450-degree oven, or you can use the broiler. If you do go with the broiler, you cannot leave. If you leave to even go take a whiz, your bread will be burnt. So just give it till it's golden brown. Again, that's why I use the oven. It's a little safer. And then you want to reduce the heat in the oven to 350 degrees. Excuse me while I clean up here a little bit. Okie dokie. They're toasted and golden brown, and honestly, if you wanted to make a side dish, you're just carving this up and using this sauce as a dipping sauce, you probably have yourself a nifty little dish. But we're making French bread pizza. So, on each of the 4, you want to spoon a decent amount of the meat sauce onto each one of the breads. Again, this is why we took the time to pre-toast them, because if we hadn't, like if I'd have just cut them, all that would have happened is that bread just would have soaked the shit out of the sauce, and you would have just ended up with soggy, crappy bread pizza instead of French bread pizza. Okay, now start adding some pepperonis to some of them. And some diced up Canadian bacon to the others. And of course, to all of them, a generous amount of whole milk mozzarella. Again, use whole milk mozzarella. Don't dick around with the part skim pre-shredded crap. Get that block of whole milk. You want the good shit. Shred it yourself, take the extra effort, or if you have a food processor, it has a shredding attachment and it'll do it in about 2 seconds. So whole milk mozzarella. And the oven should be good to go at 350. Then you just want to bake them until the cheese is basically all bubbly and the sides have, you really can't avoid blackening, but just starting to blacken a little bit. I think mine took roughly about 10 minutes or so. And there you have it. This is what they should look like when they're done. As you can see, that cheese is starting to get all bubbly on top. So, that's garlic crust French bread pizza. Done.